An LA baseball player that doesn't play for the Dodgers.
Oh.
A power speed combo that is on 50 home run pace, plus the A's have something to be happy about that's not getting out of Sacramento in 3 years, and a quarterback who just might make it solely because his division is absolute dog water. Thanks for joining us at Hot in the Hobby. As always, I'm Mr. Hollywood, and that's Joe Nasty. We have 4 baseball cards on tap this week and 1 Lone Wolf football card, so let's hop right into this inferno of hotness, starting with Kyren Paris, the infielder slash outfielder for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. His 2024 Topps Chrome rookie cards, a lot of these different parallels, as well as his Chrome Black rookie autograph. They are up, we're gonna put a list here of a couple different charts, but they are up like anywhere between 200 and 700+%. Like a crazy amount, because in 2025, so far, Kyren Paris is hitting .419 with 5 home runs, 8 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, and a 1.514 OPS for a guy who weighs like 80 pounds.
Totally sustainable.
Yeah. Kyren Paris in the minors, in case you're wondering, was a .237 hitter.
Yeah.
With 34 homers and 140 RBIs, 115 stolen bases, but that was over almost 1,200 at bats. Now, his overall MLB slash over his first 122 at bats, and that includes this season.
Yeah, where he's otherworldly.
Yeah, he's been otherworldly this season, but his total slash is, ready for this?
Yeah.
He is hitting 189 in the majors, with 6 home runs, 14 RBIs, and 8 stolen bases. So the past 2 weeks has encompassed almost 90% of his production.
Yes.
In the MLB. He has a .670 career OPS. So
5 of his 6 lifetime homers have happened in 2 weeks.
yeah, exactly. So I'm not writing home quite yet on Kyren Paris. Like, he's only 23, and I guess it's good to see this much power early on in the year is a good sign.
Sure.
But it's also I'm always a little weirded out when someone hits like 30 homers over 1,200 at bats and then all of a sudden hits like 5 and like 20 at bats.
Yeah.
Right? This is like very Jerks and Profar-esque.
What are you claiming?
I'm not claiming anything. I'm just saying it's too early on in the year to know like whether he's going to keep hitting dingers at this rate, which I doubt it, obviously. But it's looking like he should be able to clear 20 homers. With pretty elite speed. He is doing this new, he's hovering his front foot like Judge does now instead of doing the kick.
And then he goes down.
Yeah, and so he's doing this hover thing, which he claims is like, one of the things helping him. So I get it, maybe a guy to keep an eye on, but for me, I'm not buying it yet. Although the Angels are kind of good so far.
Yeah, I actually saw the Angels in person last week, and like, you look at the lineup, and I see the vision.
Yeah.
They need a lot to go well, and they have these young pieces that they believe in, and so on and so forth. With Kyren Paris, the speed is real.
Oh, yeah.
Seasons of 33 and 44 stolen bases in the minors, and he has gotten up to 14 homers when he was in Double-A.
Yep.
His highest OPS, though, is .810, which is very good.
Yeah.
That's in the minors, and like if you're just not like totally ripping it up.
Right.
That's the thing. So the more likely scenario is, like best case scenario, is this is just an above average, really good like utility role player.
Right.
Like a guy that if he's hitting 6th or 7th in your lineup, you're like, that's pretty good. That's good. That's good lineup depth. That's for me. That's the ceiling.
I mean, with this amount of speed, though, is he more of a leadoff guy?
But leadoff roles have changed. It's with analytics and OPS, and like you're not really valuing the steal as much as you are the on base plus the extra bases.
True.
Like we see as many power guys hitting leadoff now
True.
as we do just pure speedsters.
That's true.
You almost want him at the bottom to set up that extra at bat.
Yeah, I hear you.
For the leadoff man.
That makes sense.
My biggest thing is it doesn't matter what we think. How do the Angels value him? And this is going to be what you need to keep an eye on, because he's going to be battling roster spots with Tim Anderson, the big thing in the but like that's the thing. They signed Tim Anderson,
They did.
so like they put enough faith in saying we want you to hopefully rediscover something and be a shortstop. The reason Kyron Paris is playing so much is because Zach Neto is hurt,
True.
and that's sort of the spot. So between Anderson, Neto, Luis Rengifo, which you giggle, but that's a good hitting player.
No, Renivo's good.
Jorge Soler in the outfield, Taylor Ward, who is good and their leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
Joe Adell, and then that guy named Mike Trout. Where does Kyron Paris slot in?
True.
The obvious answer is, of course, Tim Anderson's spot. But they did sign him relatively for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that Kyron has the flexibility to really play anywhere. Right?
And you hear those names, and you combine it with Nolan Shanuel, Ohapi,
Yeah.
and again, you see the vision.
Yeah, you see the vision. I mean, can you imagine if the Angels had traded Ohtani or Trout and they had even more young talent, like what this organization might look like?
As per usual, the questions are on the mound. Because they're relying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Kyle Hendricks. It's
Exactly.
who's the former Dodger lefty with the weird Tyler Anderson. Like that's what you're hitching your wagon to.
Yeah,
They have this really tall righty I saw throwing 96, who looks like he has the stuff, but
Well, they have Ben Joyce too, who's throwing 106.
right. So that's you have that in the back end of your bullpen.
Yeah.
But you see the vision with the offense.
Yeah, you can see the vision with them. I'm not buying Kyron Paris yet, but something to keep an eye on for sure.
I'm not buying him now because I just don't know where he fits into their plans.
Yeah, but it's nice having the flexibility because him and, for example, Luis Rengifo
100%.
can play in any position. So you can just rotate one guy off every night and be fine. So I'm not so much worried about that. But, by the way, if you want to access all of our charts and graphs and have the superpower of comping any card in the world in an instant, in any grade, with any grading company, just log on to the marketmovers.com website and enter code Hollywood because you'll get a free 2-week trial and a 20% off your subscription for life. That's a really long time.
Hopefully.
Just think. You'll be able to leave your Market Movers subscription to your kids when you pass on. That's how long that you will get 20% off for life for. But moving on to hot card number 2, and it's Corbin Carroll, outfielder for the Arizona Diamondbacks, his 2023 Topps Chrome rookie refractor in a PSA 10 and PSA 9. The PSA 10 is up 24.4%. The PSA 9 is up 293%. $37 for the PSA 10, $25 for the PSA 9. Guys, just a quick word of advice here. When the 10 is less than $13 more than the 9, get the 10.
Just do it.
Generally speaking, whenever it's less than double, get the 10 if it doesn't make or break your bank account. But Corbin Carroll is hitting .315 with 5 home runs, 8 RBIs. Hasn't stolen a base yet, which is interesting. But he has a .413 OBP, and his OPS is over 1.1116. Excuse me, actually, I think those numbers are not updated because last night he had a 2-run double in the 9th to ignite that 5-run rally to win that game. So I think he's probably up to like 320 something and 5 homers and 10 RBIs or something.
Wow. It's 322, 5 homers, and 10 RBIs.
Yeah, okay, there you go. The speed will come, right? I mean, this is a dude who stole like 89, 90 bases in his first 2 seasons or something. So I'm not worried about the speed. But we were super, like the speed will come. He just happens to be hitting the ball over the fence too much right now.
God forbid.
We were super high on Corbin Carroll coming into this year. At least I was. I think you were too, though, because he obviously had that torrid second half of the season last year where he hit like 20 homers after the break, right? He had a torrid spring training this year, crushing the ball. He comes out of the gates this year crushing the ball. If you average out his second half last year and his start this year, Corbin Carroll is on pace to hit like 56 home runs or something this year. And he's on a team that has an awful lot of talent that will probably be in a wild card spot in all assumptions. I'm going to assume Corbin Burns will kind of pick things up. But we always knew the speed was there for Corbin Carroll, but the power is seriously developing. And if it does, that becomes the collector's dream. Power, speed, average, winning team. He's also a big, hobby guy. He's huge in the hobby, loves cards, loves collecting. Corbin Carroll, I love that he's on Hot Cards of the Week. I think he's just going to keep being here quite a bit for this season.
Yeah.
What you thinking about Corbin Carroll?
You know your Corbin Carroll pretty well.
I do, and we talked about it before. I picked this up just before the season started. This is Corbin Carroll's 1/1 Dynasty Nike swoosh rookie card. Pretty sick. That's
sick.
how much I believed in him. I picked that up.
Well, because you hit it in his 2 full seasons and his cup of coffee 3 seasons ago. He has 91 stolen bases in his career.
I'm close.
The only question, as you said, was he going to continue the hot end of his last year into this year? So far, the answer is yes. The no stolen bases is very weird, especially for him.
Weird.
It's very weird. But he does have an OPS of 1 point. You said it. It's through the roof at the moment.
We're swapping the stolen bases for the jacks at this point.
And 11 of his 19 total hits are for extra bases.
There you go.
And so what that means to me is he's just starting his trip around the bases already at second base.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, yes, he could be stealing third and so forth, and he's walking enough, but he's hitting for power. He's starting on second base more times than not.
Yeah.
And if he's not just rounding the bases as it is, that's more about, to
Yeah.
me, I think that's more about the stolen bases.
And from a value standpoint, you love when you see power speed combos from a leadoff hitter. Because that means you're just going to get a lot of attempts, right? Like Shohei had like almost 700 at bats last year or something crazy. Or
We
600,
talked about it.
600 and something, right?
Last year, that's why it was so weird. I turned on the D-backs game, and early in the year, he was batting 7th.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it. But yeah, he's right back up there where he belongs. Corbin Carroll's good. Like, the size is one thing, but he's always, no matter in his career, he's hit the ball hard, and he tends to...
Yeah, no,
can hit it over the fence.
It's crazy. I mean, Ohtani, by the way, 636 at bats last year.
Well, that goes to our conversation about leadoff hitters. You
Yes.
get your best hitter the most at bats.
So you wonder why Shohei hit 54 home runs last year and his previous career high was 46. Well, he had over 100 at bats more last year. But moving on, Tyler Soderstrom. He is hot card number 3. He plays first base and a little bit of catcher for the Oakland Athletics of Sacramento. Yeah, I think he was drafted as a catcher. His 2020 Bowman Draft Chrome first refractor autograph, numbered to 499, and a PSA 9, was up 84.5% over the past week. That's a pop count of 99. It is $138 because in 2025, Tyler Soderstrom is hitting .327 with 6 home runs, 10 RBIs, a .407 OBP, and a 1.118 OPS. Although, kind of like Kyron Paris, I'm not going to read into it a lot because he's still a .220 career hitter over 366 at-bats. But hey, he's 23 years old. Baseball Savant shows an incredible array of numbers so far in 2025. It is all crazy red if you're looking at that, but it's not going to stay like that. Oakland, though, seriously develops talent better than almost anyone.
They do.
And they low-key have a lot of good young talent. The Severino signing was a little weird, but
They got him.
you don't sleep on the A's. Like, Brent Rooker is actually one of the best hitters in baseball.
Yes.
Lawrence Butler can be electric
Yes.
at times. Mason Miller is electric. Jacob Wilson is up and coming. Zach Geloff is up and coming. JJ Bleday also. I could go on and on. More and more young talent coming up every year. I think Max Muncy is also up now. Not that Max Muncy.
He is up, yeah.
The other Max Muncy. I really wish the A's moved to Vegas next year. It's looking like it's going to be like closer to 2028, but I will be a huge fan when the A's move to Vegas. Unfortunately, by the time that happens, they will have probably traded everyone to the Dodgers by then.
Yes.
But like at this point, I think we should just make the Dodgers as good as possible. Like true Thanos.
I'm all for it.
True Thanos type. But Soderstrom.
By the way, none of the guys you just mentioned, like, I love the A's. I love the white and with
Yeah,
the green and
it's
the
cool.
yellow. I wish they never left Oakland, to be honest. And the white, they were the first to like the white shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I love the A's. But none of those young guys you just said are starting pitchers. You said Luis Severino,
Yeah,
but none of those guys are starting pitchers.
that's true.
But they do have these bats, one of them being Soderstrom. But we've seen this type for years. He's going to hit his homers. He's up there. Like, Joe Davis had the graphic yesterday because Tommy Edman right now is amongst the league leaders.
Yeah.
And it was, here's the list. Tommy Edman's tiny. The rest are Aaron Judge and Schwarber and Trout and Soderstrom. And he said, this is a power prospect.
Yeah.
This is what he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be clubbing homers. 29 home runs over 3 minor league levels in 2022. And then in 23, he also struck out 88 times in 77 games. If he makes enough contact, then yeah, this is someone to really keep an eye on. Because he's going to hit the ball over the fence.
Yeah.
But is he going to hit the ball?
Yeah.
That's-
That's a question for a lot of guys.
And so if he makes contact, this is a perfect piece for the A's to then trade away in 2 years.
Exactly. Which will probably be what happens right when I get to Las Vegas.
Probably.
But moving on to hot card number 4, it is a pitcher. It's Chase Burns. Of course, pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. Well, he's in high A right now at the Dayton Dragons. How cool would it be to be on the Dragons?
That's a great minor league name.
Yeah, that's like your kid's little league name. Little league team name. The Dragons. His
My
2024.
teams are more of a what color are we, and then what's like the
Yeah, I think
the
we were,
brown
I
bear.
think I was the Red Dragons on my soccer team when I was a kid.
That seems racially motivated.
But Chase Burns, his 2024 Bowman Draft Chrome First raw condition was up 212% over the past week to a whopping $5.83 per card. So far in 2025, he's thrown 7.2 innings. He is 0-1 with a 1.17 ERA, 13 strikeouts, and a .78 WHIP. He's 22 years old. He's 6'3". He's a right-hander who was drafted 2nd overall in the 2024 draft, right behind Travis
Bazana.
He's from Wake Forest, and he has a fastball that hits 100 miles an hour. It averages 98, but we've seen it hit 102. It has ride. He has a very plus slider that he's actually able to manipulate the shape on, so it's not the same slider every time.
Like you, Darvish.
Yeah, he also has a curveball as well that he can bury in the dirt. This is ridiculous, he had a 48.8% strikeout percentage in his last year at Wake Forest to just a 7.7% walk rate. That's 191 strikeouts in 100 innings.
That's
At Wake Forest.
that'll
It's
do.
crazy. Now, he does struggle with lefties because he's a very high release point. So lefties see the fastball very well against him. But it is devastating to righties still. The interesting one here, elbow injuries aside, is that the Reds need pitching more than anything. They have so much young offensive talent. And Chase Burns is one of the most dynamic young arms in the minor league system. I mean, I'm always terrified of pitchers, but the stuff that Chase Burns has is stuff that you can see grading out very, very well for at least a couple seasons until he gets Tommy John.
For sure. He's a total unit.
Oh, yeah.
6'3", 215. By the way, I don't know. You talked about Ben Joyce. Chase Burns transferred from Tennessee to Wake Forest. So I don't know what's in that Tennessee lab where guys are throwing 102, 106 between Ben Joyce and Chase Burns and everything.
Yeah.
And I had, when I read the notes on him, I had to look up this delivery, this crazy over-the-top delivery. And at 6'3", 215, he truly shows you how important the lower half is for pitching because he is driving through his super strong legs. Because the arm doesn't look like it's doing much.
No.
It's like, it looks like it's pretty, like the elbow's not, obviously it's doing a lot to get to one. But, and because of that, and you talk about the arm injury issues, I wonder with that super strong lower half if maybe he'll be more okay.
Maybe.
He's got to figure out the lefty issues because the angle, it's not over the top. It's like sort of, like on a clock, it'd be like 3 or 4 o'clock. And so, am I wrong? I haven't looked at a real clock in a while.
I think you mean like 9, 10 o'clock.
I feel like if you're looking at the clock, it's either way. It's at an angle.
Yeah, it's at an angle.
Look him up and tell me what it is. By the way, this also reminded me. You know who seems to be coming into his own? Hunter Green.
Hunter Green's always been electric.
Like talking
He's
about
always been electric.
but he's putting up numbers now. He pitched to DeGrom the other day where he went like 8 shutout innings and got the loss.
Yeah.
There could be some Southern Ohio heat
Yeah.
coming at you over the next couple of years.
Yeah, Hunter Green, Taj Bradley, another guy who a lot of swing and miss. but it's been control issues primarily. Like, there's a lot of guys like that out there right now. But our last hot card of the week is Michael Penix, quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. His 2024 Prism base rookie card in a PSA 10 and 9. The PSA 10's up 21% to $50. The PSA 9's up 44.7% to $18. He played 5 games last year. He was 61 of 105 for 775 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and only had a completion rate of 58%. He carried the ball 7 times for 11 yards and 1 touchdown. Now keep in mind, this is a guy who threw for almost 10,000 yards and 67 touchdowns in his last 2 years at Washington. Well, Atlanta was 1-4 in games where Michael Penix took a snap last season. They were 1-2 with him as the starter. And I'll preface this with, I have in the past been hopeful for Michael Penix.
Yeah.
I want him to be good.
He seems nice.
But if I'm buying his cards this offseason, I'm not necessarily doing it with the intention of investing in his actual level as a football player, and more on the fact that the Falcons are in a horrific division.
Sure. 6 games against those teams helps.
Like, this division is so atrocious, which means that he actually might make the playoffs.
They could.
And then from there, it's pretty much, you just win one game and have one good game in the playoffs, and Penix's values are going to spike. So, like, I can see why people would buy it. I don't think it's for, like, the talent level, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've been giggling. I'm sorry. I looked at my notes, and my computer it autocorrected it without me knowing. So I just looked at it. It's like, hello.
His notes actually do say Michael.
It doesn't even say Michael.
Yeah, it corrected Penix to use your imagination.
Yeah. It's like, it's a real shock to the system if you just look down and that word is just like if it's in your grill, if you will.
Yeah.
We've been saying this feels like the same conversation we've had for years with the Falcons. Oh, they have so much offensive talent. Oh, someone needs to get the ball to all this talent. Get the ball to Drake London, Bijan Robinson. Kyle Pitts is the next great tight end, who, by the way, has done nothing.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts may not be the next great tight end.
Yeah, he might be the greatest, like, bust tight end of
Brock
the past
Bowers
few
is
years.
what people think Kyle Pitts is.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But they've been the same team every single year, at least for like the last 5 years. So what can you truly just pin it on? Has it been the underwhelming QBs, including Mr. P? Or is this offensive talent just wasting our breath? Like, at some point, I feel like it's got to be one or the other.
Yeah, or they're just not that good.
Like, all of it, maybe that offensive talent is whatever. Maybe the QBs are also whatever. And it's just like one big, I guess that's the NFC South in a nutshell.
Yeah, exactly. Chime in the comments below. Do you think the Falcons are a product of the talent on the field? Do you think they'd be better served with a different coaching staff? What is it with the Falcons?
And this is the second year for their coaching staff, so like they got to really put their emphasis, their stamp on it.
Yeah, we have to see improvement for sure. But that'll wrap things up for us on this week's episode of Hot in the Hobby. Hope you enjoyed this week's show. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell as well so you don't miss the next one, and leave a comment letting us know which of these players you like the best going forward. But until next time, I'm Mr. Hollywood, that's Joe Nasty, and we too hope to be so hot right now one day in the future. I think it's called plastic surgery. Anyways,
Big Ozempic guy.
the boys out.